Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the 13th Dimension. Tonight, we are doing a special tribute to a fallen, let's say, major influence. This man has shaped the minds of many people. He has gotten a lot of people to think about things in a different way. And there goes my guest. This has happened twice now. Um, Give her a chance to get in here. So, anyway, we are going to be doing a tribute show to Erich Von Daniken, who just passed away a little over a week ago at the age of 90. And at a very young age, he wrote this book right here, Chariot of the Gods. And it was this book that really changed um, really changed everything. It introduced basically the ancient alien theory. Um, it caused everybody to look at so many things around the world, all the different signs, because they are there. That's for sure. They are there. And right now, I am going to be working on sharing this thing out, and hopefully, Kathryn will be getting back in here. Last time it took her about a minute um, to get back in here. She is on her backup computer, and it has been giving her some fits. We almost had to postpone the show, as a matter of fact. Um, but meanwhile, I am working on getting this thing shared out. Anybody out there in the audience, please say hello. Keep me company. Let's see here. I think that is the last of the sharing for that one. Now I gotta do all the ones here. Support temple. But yeah, Kathryn will be back in here. This is not going to be like what it was a couple weeks ago when I did a solo show. Come on. There we go. Okay, so Kathryn is not back here yet. I don't know what's going on. Send her a message. So yeah, like I said, we lost Ed Von Daniken. He was very influential to the shaping up. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back.
Thank you. I don't know what alley I went down, but hello.
You went through a rabbit hole, that's for sure.
I tell you what, this is such a bizarre energy right now in this office. It's so funny. So go figure.
Yeah.
But
Well, plus
hi
you're on your
Jeremy.
computer. So, so how are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm actually doing really well. Just kind of bizarre things and I had to go to my wired buds because It was weird.
I see
So
that.
it's all good.
Our
I just didn't want
resident,
to give you feedback.
yeah, we have our resident ninja in the chat.
Well, hi.
So, anyway, I was trying to give the people a little bit of backstory of what we're talking about. Early last week, we lost one of the absolute legends.
Oh my gosh, she was.
Yeah. And at the age of 90, so he lived a nice, long, very full life.
And very fun.
Yeah. Um,
So,
I was explaining to people that he had reshaped the minds of a lot of people. He got a lot of people thinking that he basically introduced the ancient alien theory.
yeah.
I got a copy of his book, Chariot of the Gods, right here.
Yes.
It was a fascinating read.
Well, he was a fascinating guy.
He was, and the chapter that got my attention more than any other was God an astronaut.
What'd you think of that?
Up until I read this, I never even considered it. But then when you start looking at everything around the world, it and trying to take in the stories of what's in the Bible,
Hmm.
um, it really made me wonder if any of us are native to this planet.
I
And
don't think our species is.
huh?
I don't think our species is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And the whole Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
the concept of that they say that is only in this one little spot that they think they know where it's at, but they don't really know.
No, they don't.
And I'm thinking, well, what if the whole planet is Garden of Eden, the whole planet, and God brought Adam and Eve and put them here to seed the planet.
Yeah.
So that's what I got out of those 10 pages of that one chapter. And then the Noah's Ark, I think,
Uh,
is probably the seed ship coming after Adam and Eve determine this is the an appropriate place or a good place for home. So I would love to know, okay, if that is the case, where did we come from and why did we come here from there?
there's a couple of different theories I have about that. If you want to take a walk with me down a rabbit hole,
We've already gone through two rabbit holes with you tonight.
but it's so much fun when you start talking and thinking about these things because um, we've seen we've this month seen the third interstellar object that we're aware of or that's been shared with us, right?
Okay.
That's just come zipping right through, did not behave in typical comet behaviors, um, but didn't strike us dead either. So it's moving on through. Sayonara. Nice to see you, Three Eye Atlas. But that doesn't mean, I mean, God only knows how many have gone through here, right? We are not a spacefaring community yet, as much as people would like for us to be and be considered that, but we're not. We we've been to two planets, and only one of those with living people. So, well, not planets, the moon, but you know, we can't even get somebody to Mars yet and have it be sustainable. And it's so far that it's going to have to be sustainable. So, because we can't just zip there and zip back with the technology that we have so far.
Right.
And I,
That's what, a 6 month trip just to get there.
I would
9 months.
say easily 6 months because you can't go like as a rocket. Hey, you can't go like as a rocket because you have to, you know, to be sustained for that long. We You can go like a rocket, but you can't go like supersonic or anything because our bodies aren't designed for that. So if a human goes there, it's going to be a whole different thing, right?
And
Than
then
if we're
also you
sending
got to make
technology
sure
there.
you have enough oxygen to take with you.
Yes.
That's
But
going
you
to be
can generate oxygen too. I mean, they have technology in hospitals that can, pull oxygen out of the air. I mean, out of water. You can filtrate. Is that the right word? You can find a way to make oxygen because the little portable oxygen machines that people take as they're traveling, that's what they're doing. You just have to make it on a bigger scale. So I'm going to have to put my specs on so I can see who is in here. Hey, Tom McNicholas and
and
Kurt
Kathryn,
Battle. Hey, good to see you there. That's a friend of mine from my Parrot Head world.
okay. And
So
Jacqueline is one of
nice
our
to see
other
you.
show hosts from England.
Yes. Hey,
Yeah, so this comet that you were talking about, Comet
Three Eye
Three
Atlas.
Eye, yeah, Three Eye Atlas.
Yeah.
I had seen what I had seen renderings of what they think it looks like,
Hmm.
because all the pictures that I have seen, legitimate pictures, are all just so real blurry.
Yes.
Um,
Well, it's such a great distance. Did you watch any of Mark? Oh my goodness, Mark D'Antonio's um, Sky Skystream live tour
no, I
of
didn't.
that? He's pretty cool to check out. But he was doing and just he did a show every night basically, just lighting it up and take because he's got two working on three, I think, observatories of his own, and he
Yeah,
does these shows, and he's really fun too. He's kind of wacky, but it's interesting because he does not share the opinion of, say, Avi Loeb. Avi was pretty sure that it was a craft and not a comet, and he caught a lot of. Avi Loeb is the guy who everybody saw during this instance. He is at Harvard University. He is their astronomy program. He's a member of the scientific. He's founding member, I think, of the Scientific Coalition on UAP Studies that I'm a member of, and I think he is so cool and so interesting. And he was the one that was putting forth that this is not acting as a planet. This must be a craft. This is not. I keep saying planet. I mean comet. I get excited when I talk about this. I'm sorry, but
no, this is good.
but it's and he was as respected as he is who created and is the Galileo project. I've talked to a lot of people that have worked as student assistants and who are actually now, as they've graduated and gone on, they're actually you know professional members of the Galileo project, which is seeking through the universe for other life. Finding out what's out there. And he is actually very broad minded when it comes to the possibilities that may be out there. Not everybody is, and especially not all of the science side are. But I mean, if we're here, why on earth would somebody somewhere else not be?
Exactly. There's
Yeah. This isn't the only universe. This isn't the only galaxy. It is the only universe, but hence the uni. But there's,
not the only dimension either.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look at look at us, right?
Yeah. I can tell you right now, there's at least 13 dimensions out there.
Yep.
Um, it's I remember reading uh, just a few years ago where scientists originally thought that the universe was 13 point whatever billion years old.
Yeah.
They had since updated that number to 17 something billion years old. I don't remember exactly where I saw it. And then more recently, there was a galaxy that they found is like the oldest galaxy that they were able to get a picture of, and one that defied everything that they ever knew because the galaxy, how they can even determine this, that the galaxy is older than what the universe is purported to be.
Right.
Do you remember reading about that?
I do. I don't remember the details though, and I'm sorry. I should. But that's such a novel concept, right? Because we are that's not supposed to be a thing. A galaxy cannot, air quotes, cannot be older than the universe because it's simply a part of the universe. So if you start going into that, then I mean, you can go all the way to multiverse to, you know, and I don't know that there's not multiverses, multiverse I, but
Yeah, why not?
well, I mean, we didn't know that things were traveling through here right until we got the appropriate equipment to be able to watch and monitor them. And I think the I cannot say that the name of that comet. It wasn't a comet. The one that had a Hawaiian god's name was not, you know, was not in any way. It didn't act like a comet. There was no tail. It was just like this great big rock that was meandering through. Is what it looked like. Everything that I saw of that looked like it was just on a wander, and it was big because it was close. And
How recent was it?
it was at Amuamua. When was that?
Would this be in the 90s?
No, this was recent.
Okay. Because the only names that I can come up with besides Halley's Comet
Yeah.
is Hale Bopp.
Oh yeah.
I remember that one being a real you could see that one so clear without any telescopes or binoculars, and you could see that for like 3 weeks before it finally disappeared.
Yeah. I have the first one I saw was Haley's, and Amuamua, by the way, was discovered October. These darned old eyes, better than not having them. October 19th of 2007 by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii, and it made its closest approach to the sun on September 9th of 2017. So that was passing, that was moving, right? Because I found that thing interesting. It looked like an elongated rock. I mean, it looked like a piece of obsidian or something. And let me see if I can get one of these images to pull down so I can.
It's like a rogue astral body of some kind.
Yeah, and it was just kind of a weird thing because it was just like, really? Really? That's what
I know that there had been some speculation of like these bodies being like spy satellites to check up on us,
Yeah,
and well, who's to say it's not? We've sent Sputnik out and Voyager. Which one is it that finally left the solar system?
Voyager.
Voyager. Okay, so who's to say that Voyager, of course, it'd be millions of years in the future, isn't going to go into some solar system and people are, well, what is that?
Well, we don't know.
Right.
But I do know one of the reasons that people were so excited about this comet was because, are you familiar with the wow signal?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this comet that just came through originated in Sagittarius, which is where the wow signal originated. So that's why people were kind of up in the air about it a little bit, right? And to me, that lent more credence to the possibility that, well, maybe this is something that's following up on that. Maybe because we've tried very hard to reach back out to the direction where this came from.
Can you believe that was almost 50 years ago now?
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun. But,
I
you know,
know. The wow signal happened before I was even born.
yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah. Um, in Sagittarius, is that the one with Vega?
That, I believe it is. I'm terrible at astronomy, which is ridiculous considering that I watch the stars every night for a long time. But
Well, there was a time I used to be able to name every star in the sky, but that was back when I was in high school. We had astronomy class.
yeah,
Um, our classes were broken up to where you have a set of four one day and then another set of four the other day and just rotate every other day. Well, the astronomy class that I was taking was one of those double blocked
oh,
classes. So we had it every day. And we
cool.
studied the stars, the constellation. I could name every one of them. And now I can't name a single, well, I like five of them maybe. Um, but yeah, I just can't remember where Vega is at. But I think Vega is supposed to be like one of the closest stars to us.
Yes.
It's the
Well,
constellation Lyra.
it's amazing because, I mean, like Jupiter is huge right now.
Yeah.
And I have dogs, so I'm outside at night, right? And I have a gazebo that I like to sit in, and I've got a really cool telescope that David got me that I haven't mastered yet, but it's so cool. And the first time I saw the Pleiades with it, I cried because Kurt Battle, who was in chat, knows that Desdemona's Building a Rocket Ship is one of my favorite songs by Jimmy Buffett. And every time I see the Seven Sisters, I sing the song. So, and it's just like, Seven Sisters, she is a distant sister. Yeah. And that's the reason I talk and don't sing for my job. But I've been into this stuff since God was a child. I love it. I think that the no matter where you think we are in development and the time that things have existed and whatever, there had to be an origination point and an origination being of some type. And so I talk to him a lot. And I think that it's such a fortunate thing to be able to experience things that we get to. Like all this stuff that's just out there, there's so much. And I was really lucky. I'm going to tell you a weird story and then you'll understand me a little better. But there was a family that lived next door to my grandmother, and we would go to her house like every other Sunday. And this kid was my age, and he was so into space and he was so into everything. You know, he had the Hindenburg recordings. I cried when I heard that. He had an Apollo space capsule toy, you know, their tent and
Hmm.
stuff. And so we were very into all of this stuff. He would share with me and teach me. And so, ironically, he became my daughter's theater person who taught their screenwriting part of her. She's a theater major, and he was her screenwriting professor. So, small world. And he wanted nothing more than to work for Star Trek productions kind of stuff. And he wound up writing for Star Trek: The Next Generation. So always follow your dreams because you can get there. There's not an impediment if you're, you know, willing to jump over a few things there.
Absolutely. Are you familiar with the Star Tracker app?
No. Oh, yes. Yes. I don't use Star Trekker though. I use
Yeah. This right here,
Guide.
whoever made this thing is a genius.
And that Sky or Star.
Sky Tracker.
Yeah, because I use Sky Guide, but I'm going to get that one.
I'm sorry, Star Tracker. Star Tracker. Here's
Is
my,
that an Apple?
yeah. It no, it's an Android, but you might be able to get it on the Apple Store.
A
I
lot
don't.
of times I make them available both ways.
Yeah, because the way that this app is whichever way you're facing your phone, whichever way your phone is facing, it shows you the stars, the constellation right there, and as you move around, it's really awesome. You can find where the planets are at that
Yeah.
particular moment, where the sun is at night. It is so awesome.
Well, it sounds very similar to what I have. So I think I have the Apple version of that.
Okay.
But you know, the my favorite thing to do with that is to track satellites because I'll be sitting outside. Like I said, and if it's the summertime, I'm out there a lot anyway, just because I like being outside. But it's so fun because I'll see something go by, and you can generally tell if it's a satellite because it doesn't blink and it's just a steady pace, like the brain fart, where the astronauts live when they're in space. But that thing, when it zooms by, it really does zoom, and it will come through like in a normal sequence of a schedule, and then it changes and it's coming another way. It's so fun to try to follow its orbits. So, space station.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah.
Sky Guide is the one that I use, and we have just gone into. But like, there's my sky right now with the aurora borealis, which I don't get to see. But
You know, they were saying that it's supposed to be very visible with the naked eye,
yeah,
like halfway down the states.
yeah.
And I went outside. There was nothing.
Well, we had it very strong down here a couple of months ago, and I went and sat outside at my daughter's backyard because there's no light pollution there.
That's
And
probably
you know,
why there's a lot of light pollution around here
me
because they're
too.
building a Google data center just a mile down the road. And at night,
Well,
especially if it's cloudy when I'm looking out my window when I go to bed,
Yeah.
all lit up.
Oh man, that's not healthy.
Well, a lot of people are not happy about it. Um, they fought it just like they fought a couple years ago when they tried to bring a casino here.
Yeah.
They won on the casino end, but they somehow this one got through, and nobody even had a voice to be able to um, tell them, no, we don't want you here.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to beat Google,
Yeah, I know. I know.
but one of the things that I thought was so cool, we were talking about Eric, is that when he was a boy, okay, the whole reason that he started doing the things that he did is because the little village in Switzerland where he grew up, and like I said, Giorgio grew up there too. That's where that connection came from. But
What are the odds of that happening? That two two of them from a small town would become huge in the same field.
well, I think that they were almost a package set. I mean, as far as the interest level and stuff goes,
Yeah,
and because the whole reason that Eric got into this and probably had something to do with Giorgio too, who by the way is a sweetheart, just so anybody knows. But the
and
when
he's
Eric
best
when
hair in the world too.
huh?
And he's got the best hair in the world.
That's why he got his job because when this is so funny because Kevin Burns, who was the creator and executive producer and everything else with Ancient Aliens, right?
Yeah,
There was somebody else that they were going to bring in. There were two people, and Kevin had heard them and everything else, but he hadn't seen imaging and stuff. So they they brought in Giorgio's portfolio, and so Kevin said, I opened it up and I looked at it. I said, bring me the guy with the hair. I gotta have the guy with the hair. So it's so funny because if Giorgio wants to be like incognito in an event or whatever, he puts on a hat. Nobody knows it's him. Nobody knows it's him.
wow.
So that's how he gets around in events so that, you know, because he's got a precious wife and that's how he doesn't get mobbed. I think it's brilliant.
There he
So
comes.
he just covers the hair. But, he took very good care of Eric. He was, when they were at events, I was so impressed because Giorgio takes a lot of flack, right? Because his personality is so big and he's so
Oh
you know
yeah.
excited and because he is he
Well,
loves
aside from his hair, it's more no matter what the question is, the answer is aliens.
aliens.
Yeah, he gets a lot of flack from that too. But the thing
Yeah,
is, how do we know that's not the truth?
if you had seen the things that they have seen, you would be convinced that it was the truth. I mean, because Eric, Eric, Eric got involved in this stuff because his there was a priest that taught at his school who knew how precocious he was and how interested he was, and he read so well. They had a book of Enoch in there. It was a Catholic, that's what they had then. So the priest thought a lot of Eric, and when he was old enough, he he gave it to him to read. Well, he had to read it there, but he gave him access to it. And so the Book of Enoch is why Erich Von Daniken became a wanderer. And he worked as a waiter. And he would work until he had enough money to go somewhere. And then he would go. And when the money ran out, he would come back home and he would work, save up the money, and go. He didn't have, he didn't have a wife. He was young. So he just went everywhere. And I think one of my favorite things is that he went to Paracas and he went to Nazca and he saw the Nazca lines when they were still pristine before anybody had messed with them, had done anything around them. And, you know, which meant that at that period, which was a long time ago, he was up in a plane being taken to see these things because he would talk to the people where he went. You
And that
know,
was the only way to be able to see the Nazca lines.
yes.
I
And he was so brave, right? People, yeah, nowadays, I'm flying Sunday, the 31st. But, you know, by the way, Rick McCullum is going to be filling in for me on the next two, the 31st and the 7th, um, Fate Mag radios. So that's going to be fun because he hasn't done that before. So check him out, give him some support. But I can't read anything because I'm talking.
and
But
yeah, Carl just popped in, and Tom
hey,
and talking about Chariot of the Gods, a movie. I was not aware that there
I
was a
didn't know there was a movie. Tom
no.
McNicholas, you know everything. So, you know, when I when I sat there and was listening to, because I'm not going to lie, that summer that I got to see him 4 different times, I was in hog heaven. It was so amazing. And he was, he shared everything. You know, he went to Bolivia. He went everywhere. But the place in the jungle that has the the alien carving where the astronaut is sitting in the craft.
Yeah,
I know you've seen that, but that was ancient.
yeah,
That was ancient. And that same, most of these are depicted all over the planet, right? And like he got to go into the Great Pyramid and go through there, and they went down to the bottom. The Queen's chamber wasn't open, and they wanted to see what was in it. So they worked very hard to be able to do that. And, it's just, he's the one, and I talked about this the other day, but it was so cool because in the bottom of the Great Pyramid, in the very base, is like a bath. It's a table bath. And if you empty it out, it fills up with fresh water that has to be coming from the Nile, right? I mean, even though the Nile, its path is shifted, like the Mississippi does, like any big river does, their path will shift over time. But I found that so interesting because I've never heard that from anybody but him. They don't share anything with us, so that's
no.
kind of annoying. I have something to say about that.
When he went to the pyramids, I don't know if the Sphinx would have still been partially covered in sand or not.
He didn't say.
Because I'm looking at a picture right
Probably I
now.
have a picture of it from his stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it right now from 1883, and it's still, I say, halfway covered, but I have no idea how long it would have taken them to get that all out of there. And there's speculation that there would have been a second Spence.
Yes.
Um, and when I look at the aerial pictures there,
Mm-hmm.
the way that is positioned,
Yeah.
I can almost see where a second one would have been if there was one.
Like sitting as two entryways. I mean,
Yes,
as two guarding the entryways.
yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to
And Chariots of the Gods, the film is actually a documentary, a 1970 West German documentary, and they re-edited it and dubbed it in English and released it in the U.S. in '73.
I wonder if you can watch that. Does it show a link to watch it?
Uh, no. Let's see here.
I'm trying to because I've got
Full movie. Okay, no. I want to check YouTube. Sometimes they have free movies on YouTube.
well now I'm in the Linda Moulton House stuff. I'm trying to find my Eric stuff.
Mm.
Hi, Leslie.
Found it.
Will you send me that link?
Yes, I will.
Yay!
Hopefully, it's in English.
We'll find out.
Well, let me kind of fast forward a little bit.
Can I try to hold this up to my screen and see if you can see it?
We are flying over the Dead Sea. Among these forbidding rock formations near Qumran,
It's in English.
Yay. I don't know if this will work, but can you see that? Let me get it.
There's
Woo!
okay. Is that the Nazca lines?
That is. And that actually is a head at the top.
Uh, Kind of hard to tell because of the glare.
It is. Well, I can't hold it farther back. Wait a minute. No, that's not doing it either. That one might just be too light.
Yeah. So now having found that, and it's only 93 minutes, so I'm gonna,
That's one thing of popcorn.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
You should put that link in chat. I didn't
I,
mean to sound bossy. I'm sorry.
ah,
Tom said, yes, that's it. Thank you.
there it is.
There you go, guys. Now y'all can watch it too, but not right now.
Yeah, all right now. Wait till the show's over. Um,
I'm going to see. This one doesn't appear to be as bright, but that is another area. I mean, they were everywhere, and look how thick they are.
I know. And those lines are just,
They're
in,
just drug through.
yeah.
Yeah. And
And
this,
to think that they dug them.
and you can, whoops, trying to figure out the best way to go. You know, you can see where there's so much.
Yeah.
I wish I were better at this, but and that's a very beautiful place. And that's a cliff. Those are
Okay.
those are cliffs with the cuts coming through them.
Yeah.
That one you might can see the veining a little better.
Uh,
If I could get to where I can go.
Not really.
No. But
And and to think these people had no idea that thousands of years later
right?
those lines would still be there.
Yeah. This was a place that he found. I believe this was believe this was in Egypt. That's a structure,
Okay.
and it's basically gold. Like this part over here, this part here,
Yeah.
that's just gold.
Really.
Isn't that awesome?
And they're just sitting on it.
And that man just, he beat everything I've ever seen. He was the most adventurous and interesting, wanted to share everything with everybody, wanted everybody to be able to live through his experiences. And he was just kind. You know, he was, he got, he was very good at guarding his space, right?
Mhm.
Like if he was not in the mood for a conversation, you weren't going to get anything. But he was
I can be
so,
like that at times.
I'm good at that too. Yeah.
He has written 24 books.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Chariots of the Gods, Return to the Stars, Gods from Outer Space. The more recent ones are War of the Gods, I Witness to the Gods Never Left Us, Confessions of the Egyptologists, History is Wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
it's not taught to us the way that it's, I mean, yeah. I mean, the dude, I mean, you can't just run out and get the Book of Enoch, you know, or you couldn't. And the one that he was reading from was like handwritten, right?
Mhm.
It was like ancient. And so that's where he found all the information. And thank God for that priest who recognized how precocious he was and, you know, gave him access to be able to, you know, expand his knowledge. And, or we would never have known this stuff.
This is perfect example of why you should always encourage somebody to do things
Yep.
instead of discouraging them and say no, it's never going to work, you're not going to be good enough, you're not going to this or that.
Yeah.
Perfect example of that.
Yeah. And it's also a really great object lesson, in my opinion, because he didn't just go and wander irresponsibly. He would go home and work until he had the money to go and go and check out another place. He went everywhere, everywhere. He was so curious, and he was still curious. And that was what, 2016, 2018. I think that the year that I'd seen him before, but the year that I got to hear him so many times was 2018. I saw him 3 times that year. We were at the same event each
Wow.
time. And
Those speaking sessions must have been awesome to listen to.
they were so awesome. Well, they were awesome to listen to, and he had such a great voice. I mean, very, very Swiss accent, but he really completely was into his topic. He loved this stuff. He didn't do it for money. He did it because he loved it. And, you know, he was so,
But it also helped us understand what is really out there
yes,
instead of the written things that the people only want us
yes,
to know.
yeah. And, you know, there's still that though, because even in the scientific community, right? Because when Avi Loeb was talking about this isn't, you know, Three Eye Atlas, this isn't behaving as a comet should. This is a very unusual pattern that we're seeing with this comet.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a comet. I think it's a craft. And the guy was really taking a risk even saying that. And he is the reason when NASA came out and did that presentation at the Space Center where they were like having the comet reveal kind of thing. The first words that were spoken in that press conference, it is a comet. And I was like, well, let me see your degrees up against Dr. Loeb's, you know.
Has,
But
has anything ever been named after him?
Abby or
No,
Eric,
Eric.
I don't know.
It should.
It should, but the I think that the best thing about him is that, or the best thing anybody could ever say about him that I think would matter the most to him is that he took so many people along with him on his adventures.
Mhm.
And, the things that he saw, the little where they found the carving of the man that was in a craft that's like a little triangle, and there's the
I was just looking at that. Is the sarcophagus of Palenque?
yeah,
Palenque, I guess. Yeah, I
yeah.
was just looking at that.
Well, he found all that stuff. He was shown all that stuff, right? All because he read the book of Enoch and it gave him curiosity. And so he started going and looking at places. And, you know,
Well,
he,
what also helped him is timing
yeah,
because let's see. So this would have been in the 50s. So air travel wasn't all that common back then.
mm-mm.
Um,
But he
and
still did it.
yes, but
So,
without air travel, they would never have been able to discover things like the Nazca lines.
mhm.
They would have just known, okay, there's long grooves
Yeah.
in the
And
ground.
they're really not even grooves. I
Holy
mean,
cow, what happened here?
it's just the sand.
We just lost connection to the Things Network page.
Has that ever happened?
No, but you know Scott Wilson, right?
Yeah.
His lives lately, he's been going live on his page and his paranormal page. For whatever reason, it's been cutting connection on the paranormal page, but um, still live on his personal page. And now it just lost connection here. We're still live on 13th Dimension. Um, Weird. I don't know what's going
It
on.
is weird. Maybe it's the topic. Usually I have that happen if I'm doing a paranormal show, but I think it would be more likely to happen with this topic.
Well, I'm going to take from the 13th dimension page and put it into. Oh, wow. Oh, no, it would not show up there. Wow. That's really, really weird. Why that would happen. We just lost half our viewers, too, because of that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's
Something's going
okay.
on.
But we still have half. So, hi.
Yeah.
If y'all were able to hang on, good job.
Well,
So,
we're still live everywhere else,
yeah.
all the YouTube channels, so that's good, and the
Yeah.
13th Dimension page on Facebook. So something weird's going on.
Well, a lot of times it's the topic. So,
It can be, yeah, but this here isn't. Well, it shouldn't be one of those controversial topics.
Abby Loeb is kind of controversial right now.
Yeah, well,
Oh, Tom's still there. Hey, Tom.
well, he came over to. Oh, well, wait. Oh, he's been on YouTube. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was on Facebook the whole time.
but
So yeah, we lost half our audience. Jeez.
well, let's see. I'm trying to get there.
Oh, and I didn't even think to share to my personal page. I guess it's a good thing I didn't share from the network page. I'm sharing from the 13th Dimension page now.
Is it just at 13th dimension?
On the on Facebook, yeah. Well, no, it's the 13th Dimension podcast.
Of course, if I could spell dimension, we'd be in much better shape. No, I'm not a paranormal researcher or anything. At the 13th dimension, it's not pulling it up.
Well, the link is in the chat. Uh, let me put it in your chat.
Okay.
There you go. Wow, we're already coming up on an hour.
We are.
Yeah, doesn't feel like it.
I know. Well, when you're talking about something you like, it just goes, it's too good.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And I like talking to you anyway, so
All the better.
did we
All,
lose Carl?
huh?
Did we lose Carl too?
He only had two comments. Let's see.
Because I
Yeah,
can't see.
probably. He was commenting on Facebook,
Yeah.
but he only made a couple comments and hadn't said anything since then. So I don't know if he was just being quiet and watching or what. A lot of people do that. We
Yeah.
end up with X amount of viewers, but so little comments. It can be frustrating at times. It's like, come on, let's get the engagement going.
I know. Well, that's one of the reasons that I love doing my shows, and it's um it's so much fun when you do have people that are like, "Hey," you
Yeah,
know, and Tom McNicholas is always so positive and so fun. So he's one of my heroes, but
he's also one of our shenanigan makers. Instigators.
well, it's so much fun when like this is a topic I'm really passionate about, and you are too.
Mhm.
And so I love sharing things that I think matter with other people because, well, like he's gone now. People are going to have to work to be able to learn about him and to be able to share information about somebody so special is it's really cool.
Well,
So, well, it's really cool to have the information to share.
that's why I wanted to do this show because I don't really know how much of our audience actually knows about him.
Yeah,
And this book right here,
will change your life.
yeah, it is a very good book. It is not super thick. It's well
It
this
is detailed though.
yes. This edition that I have here is only 200 pages, so it's a quick read.
Yeah. And, you know, if you look at how old was he when he passed?
90.
90. Well, he was 17 when he was working and traveling and coming home and working to be able to travel more. 17 was when he started doing this.
So
And
70 years
yeah,
he's been
I mean,
he's yep. Tom
What do you?
knows the truth. Tom knows the truth. He he mostly hazes on Nick. He does the sneaks pictures of Nick when he falls asleep in the car.
Yes.
And then my favorite one is where he and Nick, I think they are on a roller coaster, and Nick is all scared as all get out, and Tom has got that
Tom
kind
would just be fine.
of, he's having fun.
Yeah. He's a fun guy.
Um,
I wish that time travel or like just zapping in and out of places was a thing already, because I have to go so far to come and see you guys. And I I would love to be able to just sit down and break bread and have conversation and get the one on the face to face kind of
we
thing
we
going.
will one day. We will one day.
Well, I'm coming up to Arkansas. I don't know how far that is from y'all to
That
do
Ar-
the Ozark Mountain UFO conference in April. So there's
Little
that.
Rock is, I want to say, like a 16-hour drive for me.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's,
Yikes!
it's still a ways out.
So it's not that far for me to drive. Although David hasn't let me drive that. So I try to drive when I go places because I like to see things. And
Yeah.
my husband is like, I have the dogs. You need to go fast. you know? So, and we only have two now. We've always had four up until now. So
Okay.
it's a different world.
But
But
but yeah, Eric, he's the things that he did were were amazing.
yeah, he
Uh,
was amazing.
come to Mansfield in May, Mansfield, Ohio. He's talking about Parapsychon.
Uh, I have never been to Parapsychon. My friend Shelly goes there though.
Oh, I'm sure she goes because Mansfield is only a 2-hour drive from me.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was that close
I would
until
go to.
I passed it going somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of my best friends, the girl I'm going to Belize with, is from Columbus. And when, because Lori Dorsey used to have her birthday parties there. And so we would go and investigate for her birthday. And
Okay.
I fly into Columbus, and then Katie and I, that was my first time to ever have a paranormal experience with Katie too, because we were in the car on the way, and all of a sudden her whole car smelled like fresh laundry. And I was like, you have laundry in here? And she didn't. And I was like, oh man, that's a chick.
When
And
are we going to Belize?
I am going to Belize the 31st and coming home the 7th.
Oh, this coming trip.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it's going to be fun. It's a trap rock kind of a music
Be
thing.
careful. I'm hearing that Mexico is not being very friendly to Americans right now.
Yeah. Well, I fly into Belize City straight from I fly to Dallas and then to Belize City, and I
Okay.
never have to leave the airport there because there's a island hopper plane that's going to take us to where the party is.
Oh, okay.
So that way, and it was just, yeah, that part was included with the fee of the event. So
Belize City doesn't look very big at all.
Belize City is on our government's, don't go outside at night place. I mean, it's not friendly to Americans either.
Okay.
And I'm so blatantly American that, you know,
Southern American at that.
huh?
Southern American at that.
So I'm sassy, and they know that.
No, I'm talking about your accent.
It's hard to hide that.
Yeah.
But people from here think that I sound like I'm not from here. I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah.
So, I'm always the same, but
Um,
I'm a natural mimic too. So if you're from New York and I'm talking to you, I'm going to sound just like you in about 2 minutes. So, but then I go right back to me.
oh, he died 2 weeks ago. I thought it was just a week ago.
You got what?
He died on the 10th. For some reason, I was thinking it was the 14th. I think it was the 14th that they announced it,
Mm-hmm.
but he died on the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
it's,
so it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow. He died on a Saturday. At least he got to see the new year.
well, I think that he was one of those people that he's just on another adventure now. You know,
That's a very good way of looking at it.
I think that there's certain people that have such a zest for life and such a natural innate curiosity,
Yeah.
and who who changed. There's two who changed my world that were public figures, and he's one of them. And Jimmy Buffett's another one because he had such a zest for experiences and adventure, and
Yeah.
he was very much a kindred spirit to Von Daniken, really. Just the quest for what's different, what's new, what can I learn. And so, kind of like Mark Twain, he also did that in a period when that was very difficult to do. And I think that people that are willing to go out of their comfort zone and bust a hump to get to achieve what they have to do in order to be able to have their life of adventure, yeah, that's really cool. That's very neat and not easy to do, I guess. It doesn't seem to be. There's not all these people running around doing it, trying to.
Well,
But
nothing really is ever easy.
no, well, nothing worth having is.
Yeah. I'm
So,
just hoping that his work lives on and other people pick up on what he was doing and decide to keep going with it. Now, I'm sure with guys like Giorgio and Dave Childress and Nick Pope, all
yeah.
them guys, I'm sure they would definitely continue on. But, you know, these guys are getting up there in age too.
Yes, but some of them are dads.
But
So,
but will their children um, follow their footsteps, though?
well, I guess that if they don't, look at all the people that, I mean, because I am significantly older than you. And so he touched me, he touched you, and it's something that's going to keep moving down. And one of the things, Kevin Burns, the guy that created all of this stuff, I got to sit down and have a conversation with him one day because he credentialed me to go to the very first Alien Con, right? And so and it was so much bigger than they expected. They expected 3,000 people. They got 9,000 in a very small venue, so it was a cluster. But we sat down and we were just chit chatting away. And I just told him, I said, thank you so much for letting me be here because I can't believe y'all credentialed me. I had just started Paranormal Experience, right? And I applied for credentials and I got them. And so, and I was at the second one too in Pasadena. And then I started contacting the deserts and I just go wherever I can get to. Eureka Springs is probably my favorite conference to go to. But it was such a absolute gift to sit down and be talking to him because I was like, this is so neat. He was like, well, there's some things that people need to know about, and this is an interesting topic. And I said, "Is it real to you?" And he was like, "It is real to me." He said, I think that this is something that needs to be in the public venue. I said, "Well, I do too, but I'm just glad that you let me be a part of it." And so that was one of my favorite conversations I've ever had with an organizer. And he was actually a television guy. So it was
Well,
fun.
I'm looking at an article here. Eric had one child and two grandchildren. So hopefully the grandchildren will
Yeah.
i- have the same interests.
You know,
Um,
I wonder if they will, because that's such a thing, right?
yeah.
Because the book was so controversial at the time. And he really caught so much hell for that book. And
Oh, I don't doubt it because this book is the complete opposite of what the Bible is.
to a degree, yeah. But he said that when he wrote the book, the title is supposed to have a question mark at the end of it. Does yours?
Yeah, it does. This book does not,
Yeah,
but the original title, yes, it does.
yeah. And he had people that, I forget where he was speaking. It was somewhere here in America, but he was speaking, and these people were like up in arms against him, you know. And he was like, "You don't understand." He said, "The book's title is a question. It's a question. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, God's not real or that there are other gods or whatever." He said, "I'm saying, are these chariots of the gods? Who is coming here in these craft?" You
Yeah.
know, because,
But even if the question mark isn't there, most people won't notice. They just only see the words.
yeah.
Um,
And, well, you know, Ezekiel left here in a flaming chariot, and that's biblical. So it's just so interesting because there was so much controversy around him at one point. And he always, that picture that I had put up of him in the blue suit, the blue jacket.
yeah, well, it was on here until you disappeared.
Well, it was, let's see, where do I, oh, there it is. But he always wore that blue jacket. That was his thing. And it was so interesting because, let's see, share media. Can I share a still?
Yeah,
I'm not sure which one this is. I can't even see that. Um,
yeah,
this was when he. This
that's
is when he saw me when we were in. Which one was that?
yeah, that's the one that you had up earlier. Yeah, Sue, I don't know what happened. This thing cut us off a half hour ago.
Yeah,
Uh, so that's why I put in the 13th dimension feed because that's still going. Um, have no clue. This is the first time that's ever happened to us.
it's the topic.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, well, it went away and now it's back and now it's gone again.
That's weird.
Your computer is weird.
It's a day.
Yeah.
It is truly a day for them on this, and I will say that stuff happens. Carl will tell you that random stuff just goes wrong with my electronics sometimes,
What,
and
are you also in the path of the ice storm that I hear is going to hit the south?
we. This is the weirdest thing. If you look at the new maps that they put out, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Georgia, and the snow belt Stop. It's like that. From Huntsville down is not in it, but
Okay.
just in Alabama. And I think what happened is we got a good a good Gulf wind off the Gulf of Mexico. So we've got a pressure thing over Alabama that's keeping the snow and ice away. And I'll take it
Uh,
because, but yeah, everything was supposed to be all over the South, the whole country, right? This side of the country. And Alabama is the only part that doesn't have any color over us.
as a couple hours ago, I'll check it real quick. Uh, let's see.
Well, I said that, and now I've got 5 notifications from WeatherBug.
Okay, so it hasn't changed. So for me, right now, we're not supposed to start getting any snow until midnight tomorrow night. But it's going to snow. Oh, now I just lost the 13th dimension page.
You did not.
I did.
Wow. That might be weird.
Yeah, it is weird. Maybe, I think I better end the show. I don't know what's going on.
It's it's decidedly different. I'm telling you, it's the
Yeah.
topic.
Well, I've lost all three Facebook pages. I'm still on the four YouTube channels, the Twitch channel, and the LinkedIn channel.
Wow.
Yeah, I no clue what's going on. I know Scott has been having his issues, but it's first time it's happened on any of my shows, and we just did over 2 hours of a show last night. No problem.
Maybe this weather is having something to do with it.
Well, right now it's just bitter cold. Um, we don't really have much of a wind, no snow. It's just really cold. But it doesn't make any sense. If it was going to affect anything, it would affect everything. It would affect my internet. So there's something going on with the Facebook aspect of it.
Yeah.
So maybe we better call it a show.
Yeah.
Because
Just to be,
yeah, I've already lost a third of my destinations. I don't know why.
yeah.
Um, but to recap, yeah, we lost a legendary figure 2 weeks ago. But he was 90. He been all over the world. He wrote 24 books. Oh, and one of those books he wrote in prison.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they allowed that.
Well, you know what? He was a very strong presence and he wasn't a putz. So maybe that's why they did.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, he definitely influenced a lot of people, changed a lot of people's changed my thinking. He really did. Because I never really thought about aliens a whole lot until I read his book, and then Ancient Aliens came out. It is
Mhm.
actually about the same time when
Okay.
yeah, when Ancient Aliens came out. I think it must have been right after I read that book, um, and that's like, holy cow,
Yeah.
this is really opening everything up.
Well, it does, right?
Yeah.
And I always tell people that you'll run into people that have a real problem with it, right?
Hmm.
And I'm always like, well, if you'll just open your mind just a little bit, just allow a different thought to grow there. It's there are other possibilities, and it's not anti God, it's not anti anything. It's just this has been happening here
Hmm.
from the beginning of recorded time. This isn't new and it's not odd. It's just something that frightens people because humans are very afraid of the unknown and of anything that might rock the status quo, you
Oh, yeah.
know? And because there's comfort in the known. And so when he came out with this book, it was in a very much more religious time, and it was very much taken as a threat to that, and it wasn't intended that way.
Well, that
So,
was probably because he might have been the first person to really think of these things.
well, he wasn't the first person to think of them, but he was the first person of our time to put it down in writing,
That
you
would be
know,
the
to make
more.
it public.
Yeah. So he was the first person to bring it out to the forefront.
Yeah. And so he was the face of that thought process.
Yeah.
And that's where he got a lot of animosity. And, you know, and that's why he would always say, there's a question mark. It's a question. Are these the chariots of the gods? And who are these people that are here who've been here since recorded time? You know, this has been going on forever and ever. Amen.
Mhm.
But he was not a shrinking violet. He was very assertive and very comfortable being Erich, you know, comfortable in his own skin.
Well, you need those kinds of people.
Always.
Otherwise, those ideas will die down.
Well, the problem if those ideas die down, if people subvert them to the point that it's never spoken about, then you'll have people being thought lunatics, right? Again, and you'll have people reacting toward the people seeing these things in a probably negative way.
Hmm.
So it's not that long since people, you know, got in trouble for being heretics. We would
Well,
be considered heretics in that period.
yeah, and you know what happened to heretics 500 years ago?
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least this came out in a more civilized time,
Yeah. As it were.
right? And but it caught fire.
It did.
It caught fire, and it just exploded into now we have hundreds alien
Yeah.
conventions and things like that, and now other people who are believing in this idea and carrying on the work. Maybe not his work specifically, but
Yeah.
carrying on the same ideals.
Well, it caught fire because it's real.
Yeah.
You know, because of his travels, he was able to document different civilizations that were having these experiences. And people recognize real as a rule, even if they don't like it.
Right. Yeah. In
So,
these chapters in this book, uh, ancient marvels or space travel centers, fiery chariots from the heavens, ancient imagination and legends or ancient facts,
yeah.
when our spaceship landed on Earth.
Yeah.
Are there intelligent beings in the cosmos? So he's asking very real questions,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things where it's impossible to give a definitive no.
Exactly. There's way too much, you know,
Right?
over time, there's way too much out there, way too many people having experiences, and they can't all be crazy.
Well, I don't know about that.
But there's a lot. There are a lot.
I, I
And
I think we're all a little bit crazy.
it's the genetics.
Yes.
Humans are a little bit flawed, but we have a good time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Catherine, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for wanting me to.
It's been a very interesting show, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from technical difficulties that,
On both sides. Usually it's just one side.
yeah, it's, and the
So,
one that I got, I've never had. So I need
yeah.
to figure out what the problem is because I can't keep having this happening.
Well, I would guess that probably it's the topic.
My, it's on the Facebook side. It's got to be. So everybody out there in the audience, for what it's worth, thank you so much for playing along with us.
Absolutely.
The ones that were able to stick with us, at least. Um, yeah. With the snow and ice storm that's coming out, it's going to be covering a huge part of America. So definitely be safe out there. Keep yourselves warm. Make sure you have provisions ready because you just never know.
You know, be
Yeah.
safe.
Make sure you're prepared. Uh, Next week, as of right now, I do not plan on doing a show because I've got a whole string of shows and I'd like to have at least 1 week off.
Well, that's good. They can come and listen to Rick McCullough make his radio hosting debut.
There you go. Yeah, because he'll be on the next, no, not the next,
The 31st and the 7th.
31st is a Saturday.
Yes. Oh, that is. But he'll be doing the Sunday,
So he'll be doing
the 1st.
February 1st and the 8th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I come home the 7th, but I'm not going to do the show the 7th.
Okay.
So he's going to be doing it.
That should be a fun watch. I'll try to tune in on those shows, maybe hang them a little bit.
Yeah. He's fun. And he's going to have Mikey on the first week. And we're not sure who he's going to have the second week.
Okay.
I told him he could pick his own guests. And
Well,
so,
he knows he and Mikey work a lot, so
yeah, they investigate out there a lot.
yeah,
So that'll be good.
that's good.
So thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being on here. I just knew that when Eric passed, that I had to get you on here
Oh,
because you're probably the one out of the people that I know who knew not only of him but actually knew him the most.
well, I was very fortunate. And,
Yeah.
the Ancient Alien guys, Giorgio is so close to him, obviously. Um, that has to be so hard for them.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure
So,
it had to be hard on all of them.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, Georgia, I would love to pick his brains.
he's hard to get. He's hard to get still.
I
So,
believe it. He comes across as a guy who's very hyper.
yeah, he seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, Catherine, thank you so much again. Everybody out there, be super careful this weekend.
Yes.
Just make sure you have backup plans in case something happens, power goes out, this, that, and the other. I know Donald and I are going to try to do our wrestling show tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, but he's expecting the ice storm, and so he's already planning on losing power tomorrow, which is actually a good thing for him because he'll be prepared. Uh, all right, so until 2 weeks, um, just be safe out there, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night.